Hey guys, Phil Baumhart here. So for today's knife of the week, I got a little hunting knife to show you. So this is a coil spring knife. So this one has got my cartridge case inlay. So these are some the back of the shell casing from a 30-30 Winchester round. These are the Remington made cartridges with the brass pins going through that kind of replaces the primer. So it looks like a primer, but it is in fact not a primer. But yeah, so kind of a nice walnut and brass and steel theme with this one. So this will kind of pair nicely with your sort of traditional hunting guns, your lever actions. So yeah, walnut handle, little brass cap there, goes with the inlay. Pretty thick spine. This is I think it's about 3/16 of an inch, a little over 5 millimeters in thickness. You know, for a hunting knife, you don't need it to be super. You don't need it to be super thick, but definitely thick enough that if you ended up using this for some whittling or shaving, you could do that. Or some people like to split the sternum or something like that. Definitely sharp enough to skin out a deer, but it's not going to chip out on you or anything like that. So about a 4.5 inch handle, so ample room. You can just, I don't know, for me it just fits my hand really nicely, nice and smooth and rounded off. And then for holding it in this kind of a grip, it still works really well. Just sits nicely in the palm, interfaces nicely with the thumb, at least for me. A little bit of a flare there so that your finger doesn't run right up on the blade if it slips over. And so this one's kind of inspired by the original cartridge case inlay knife that I made. I've got a YouTube video out. I made that a few years ago, and that one I gave to a friend. And just this past year, during 2020's deer season, I was with my buddy, and he was lucky enough to shoot a deer, and he field dressed it with that knife that I had made him. So that was cool. Unfortunately, I didn't get any video of that, but that was a good sharp knife. Worked out really well for him, and he was happy with it, and I was happy with it the way it performed because I was lucky enough to be there when he was doing that, helping him out on that. So, and that was an evening hunt, so it was dark and rainy and cold, in the middle of the woods. So. Definitely sort of adverse conditions, a time where you don't want to be messing around with a dull knife or a crappy knife. So anyways, this one being forged from a coil spring, it's got some good forge marks and pitting and all that. Definitely got some good character. Just sort of a forged patina. I just hit it with a wire wheel to kind of knock off the fire scale after the heat treatment. So actually gives it a good rust resistant coating other than the blade, but also gives it a nice look as well. Very simple sheath, and so with the kind of Western lever action flavor, I've got this sheath that is reminiscent of the old 6-shooter holster from the John Wayne movies. The John Wayne theme is at least for our deer camp is a big theme for us, but it's actually very functional. So you've got this snap here, so this whole thing will open up like that, so you can slip this on and off your belt without having to undo your belt buckle. So it's easy to take on, take off. If you're about to hit the woods and you're like, oh crap, I forgot to put my knife on, you can throw it on real fast. If you're driving around the car and it's digging into your side, you can take it off. Going into the store and you don't want to be wearing this, you can do that as well. Oops. I don't know, it's just a nice kind of custom option I like to do with my knives, and it kind of, to me, completes the look. So overall, really happy with it. Simple sheath, but definitely looks nice. Got a bit of wet molding in there, so this really does lock in the blade well without having to deal with a thumb brake snap, which on a lot of knives, at least commercial knives, I find that it's really easy that these snaps get in the way. So if you're trying to use your knife, put it in and out of the sheath. This pouch style sheath is just the easiest way to go without having to contend with those snaps getting in the way. But this thing is rock solid in this sheath. I don't know, at least right now, over time, over years and years, it might break in, but there's just no way that this is going to shake out. This is a really solid fit on this one. And so with this belt loop design with the this kind of wraparound snap, the more pressure the more gravity of the knife pulling down, the more pressure you exert on this, all it's going to do is tighten this belt loop and actually tighten this loop around the knife, so it does slip up on it. It's that the way it's positioned right now, it's right underneath that kind of the handle, the guard, but this will actually just lock in your blade more the more pressure you exert on it. So that's another kind of nice feature as well. So, but anyways, just a simple little knife, purpose built for deer hunting, for skinning out whitetails. I'm sure it'll work on other game as well. Other big game, probably a little too big for squirrels, but you know what? I'm sure you could do it. So anyways, so if you want to own this knife, there'll be a link in the description box. You can click that link. It'll take you to the Etsy web store. You can check this out and other of my works as well if you're interested in anything. So as always, I appreciate the support. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, be more Viking.